She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We hope that you're having an awesome day already, and we hope that today's program is going to be a total blessing to you. We work really hard here to make sure that we bring you content that's going to help you to succeed far greater than if you're not watching this program or you're not listening on the radio, which, by the way, we thank so much our sponsors of the show, the UA Network, if that's how you're watching us today, or the Truth Network on the radio, as well as, of course, you've got YouTube and you've got our website and Facebook and whatever other channel it is, and the what do you call that thing? Your phone. The app. If you have the Dani Johnson app, hopefully that's been a blessing to you too. Hey, listen, have you ever heard anyone say, when I grow up, I want to be mediocre? No. Then why are so many people mediocre? Isn't that interesting? You know, my coworker Mary found this amazing quote. I have to read it to you. It says this: nothing is as approved as mediocrity. The majority have established it, and it fixes its fangs on whatever gets beyond it either way. That's Blaise Pascal, French mathematician, inventor, and philosopher. Wow. Smart guy, but isn't that so true, right? Yeah. Why is it that so many people just settle for mediocrity? They settle for mediocrity in every place of their life. Whether it's they settle for mediocre health, settle for mediocre marriages, settle for mediocre kids, settle for mediocre jobs, settle for mediocre life, like mediocre social life, mediocre everything life, mediocre food. Really? Think about that. What fast food is not mediocre? Ugh. Although taco Casa is sounding really good right now. I'm kidding. It's not a good idea. Anyway, I have battled. I'm sure you have battled. Mediocrity is not your friend. Mediocrity is not your cheerleader. Mediocrity is your enemy. And it is not something that you should settle for. And here on the Dani Johnson Show, every single day, we're bringing you content that challenge you to be who you're called to be worthy of the calling that's on your life, for you to step up, get up, and do something special with your life. Step up, get up, and do something special with your family. Do something with your health, your body, your looks. Do something special with your skill set, your career. Don't you know who you are? And don't you know what you can do? Come on, we have heard for how long have we heard that anything is possible? Anything is possible. Nothing is impossible for those who believe. You can believe. Believe is a choice. So today we're gonna tackle this sucker, because mediocrity for your business life, for your career, for your finances, mediocrity for your looks, mediocrity for your marriage, it's just not an option. And the unfortunate thing is that 98% of the population who ends up dead or dead broke at the age of 65, dependent on their family, friends, and federal government for their main source of income, those people, their action plan for not being mediocre is a divorce. It's quitting their job. It's getting their stomach stapled. Their idea for success is fight or flight. Instead of, what's your plan? Making new decisions. How did I get here? You got to analyze, how in the world did I get here? Why did I let this happen to me? Why? Why did I settle in this place? Why have I tolerated this kind of abuse? Why have I tolerated this kind of toxic relationships? Why have I tolerated staying stuck in my job? Why have I not done what I should do to get me to go to where I want to go? I hope today gets you off your butt. Oh, I said that. I'm going to get in trouble, especially on the Truth Network and especially on UAN. Doubtful. Those guys are awesome. Okay, so we asked a question on Facebook. By the way, have you come on Facebook yet? What are you waiting for? If you are on Facebook, type this in. Dani Johnson Live. It's D-A-N-I Johnson Live. Okay? Press like when you come to the page. You're not just going to get me, baby. you're going to get 400,000 other amazing people. Now, not all of them are amazing. Some of them are jerks. But the vast majority of our community that's active on Facebook, they're awesome. They're amazing people. I wish I could live with them all. I really do. They are so incredible, loving, kind, encouraging. They're purpose-driven. They're doing something with their life. They're taking care of the poor. They're getting kids out of the sex traffic industry. They're taking care of the widow. They're paying off debt. In fact, I just talked to one of them, Linda. They've just paid off $260,000 worth of debt in 3 years. Their marriage was totally restored. I mean, amazing. Okay. Just heard another one that's on Facebook with us that came out to First Steps to Success, paid off $300,000 worth of debt in the last 11 months. That's crazy. Single woman in her 20s. She, like, hello. Amazing. I mean, I can't tell you. There's so many stories. Anyway, we are all influenced by television. We're influenced by radio. We're influenced by movies, books, music. We're influenced by lots of things. And there's lyrics and lines, phrases, gimmicks, imagery that is painting a picture on our mind. It is literally making an impression on our mind, and it's going to stay there forever. It is. And it will repeat itself again and again. So what are you listening to that is helpful and beneficial to your life? What are you reciting, singing along with in your car that is helpful and beneficial to your life, to your love life, to your marriage as a parent, to your work life, to your financial life, to your spiritual life? What are you allowing to go in your ears that is helping you get to where you want to go? That's what we're going to talk about today. We posted this question on Facebook. Who is influencing you? Are they bad influences? Are they good influences? And what is the result? So we post that question on Facebook. We have some people who've called in for today's program. We're going to have this discussion together. It's time to take a little inventory on what is going into our ears. And if you're joining us today and this is your first time, we hope that you decide to do this each and every day because we promise to influence you in a way that will help you become more successful as a person, as a financial person, a spiritual person, a physical person, a healthy person, as a career person, as a business person. We are going to influence you every single day to reach for better, to do better. You're going to learn skills here every single day. You're going to be challenged by your character issues every single day. We're going to give you the next step so that you can get to where it is you want to go. I was a homeless woman. I grew up on welfare, abused as a child, pregnant at 17, homeless at 21, millionaire by 23. Today, multi-millionaire, and 100% of the profits from our company goes straight to the poor, the widow, the sick, and the trafficked, and I do not take a salary. So anything that you see on our website, every speaking engagement that we do, we speak before thousands of people every single year. 100% of the money goes to taking care of our team that works so hard daily to produce all of the materials that we produce. And after their profits part of the profits are given to them, the rest of the profits go straight to the poor. All right, so I'm a volunteer here, so you need to be nice to me. We got Nicole. No, we don't. We got Kim George, from Washington. She has been waiting for a long time to talk. Kim George, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Where are you, Kim? How come I can't hear you? Let me try it again. There we go. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Dani.
How are you?
I'm here.
So, Kim, what influences you, and how are those influences affecting you?
Well, if you grew up with a family that drinks alcohol, and it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know, for them, like, you are the mixer of the margaritas when you're, like, in junior high school.
What?
Yeah.
Party girlfriend. Wow.
Yeah, and my sister was the bartender for the cocktails. And they're, I'm just going to say it, like, we're just witnesses, and, I mean, they still are. It can really affect your life because that seems normal to me.
Right.
So now, like, they're telling me possibly have 5 years to live to myself because of what I was taught. And it was normal. It was a normal thing. I've tried to quit a million times and succeeded a few times that now I'm suffering because of what, my family influence did to me.
Wow. But Kim, I have a question. First of all, I'm so sorry. And that's crazy. Like an 11-year-old bartender for the family, and it's a religious family? That's like, wow.
Yeah, I know.
There's a teenager listening right now going, that's the best religion in the world.
Yeah. You're not supposed to have your kids, like all around that alcohol and stuff. And then I was also told that we wouldn't live past high school. And so I had no goals. I had nothing because I was waiting to die or to be in paradise.
Wait, I don't understand. Why were you told that you would not live past high school? I don't understand.
Because Armageddon was going to come.
Oh, they were really wrong.
And we were going to be in paradise.
Oh.
Or we were going to be destroyed and have the crows pick our eyes out and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's tough stuff.
That is tough stuff. Okay, so wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so first of all, you were not led to have any dreams or goals for your life or a plan for your life because the plan was already established for you that you're going to die right after high school. That's confusing. Yeah, you're right. Kim, I have a question for you. How old are you?
I'm 55.
Oh, mama. And how long ago did you graduate from high school?
Back in 1979. Yeah, so I made it.
You did. You totally made it. And whoever the prophet was,
Pardon me?
whoever the prophet was that prophesied, or shall I say prophelied, that Armageddon was going to happen right after high school. Yeah. Anyway, are they still alive?
Actually, you know what? This is kind of sad, but after I get off this phone call, my dad is 85, and Mom is 80.
Wow.
But he's dying right now, and I have to sit over there because they're all going to do this little watching him die thing, which I really don't want to do. But I don't want to watch my dad die. I want to just remember him, and and it's just they're still alive, and so they realize that. I think part of it is when someone gets confused about that religious stuff, they can pass it on to their kids.
They do.
And really
they totally do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so Kim,
so
listen.
I didn't give that to my kids.
Praise God. Praise God. Kim, I got to cut over to a break really quick. And as soon as we get back, I want to talk about how do we get past this. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Kim's story brings up a really good point about family. Next on the Dani Johnson Show, Dani is going to show Kim how she can turn it all around.
Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Let me ask you something. Do you dream about being more confident, more beautiful, more powerful? Are you that girl who never learned to wear makeup and now you're lost in a sea of YouTube videos? That busy mom who can't get enough sleep and just wants to feel pretty again? Or maybe you're that professional who wants a little more respect in the office. From the boardroom to the bedroom, celebrity makeup artist Xtina Harmsworth from XMH Beauty will help you. Xtina has a track record of making beauty easy on any budget. Her live classes, simple step-by-step professional beauty techniques and insider secrets will set you apart from the crowd. So don't sit on your dream another minute. Learn from the best. Get your exclusive free gift from Xtina today at xmhbeauty.com/Dani. That's xmhbeauty.com/DANI.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
I think your parents probably have given it their best shot, just as, we have, right? My husband and I have been together for 25 years. We've got 5 children, ages 29 to 17, obviously. I had a child before I married my husband. Actually, I had 2. Yep, I had 2 kids. The second one was his. We actually only got married because I didn't want a 3rd kid out of wedlock, and, well, here we are 25 years later. We're still together. Sometimes by the hair on my chin, and other times by absolute bliss, miraculous love, and passion. discussion. Nonetheless, all of us parents do our very best to pass on good things down to our kids, but sometimes, we're misguided, we're young, we've made mistakes, and we pass down some pretty quacky things to our kids sometimes too. And yeah, there's kind of been a couple generations of some quacky things have been passed down. My mom and stepdad, who I thought was my real father, they passed down the whole drug era, complete addiction to drugs, total abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, horrible physical abuse, bad marriage, terrible parenting, neglect, bad financial management, all of those things. And that's exactly what was passed down to me. And so I had a wonderful start in life. Not. If I told you my husband's story, you'd be totally shocked that he and I are still living, especially together, because that in itself is a miracle. Nonetheless, we were just talking to Kim George. She's from Washington, and she was talking about influences that she had. And as she was growing up, she grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. They actually taught their 11 and 13-year-old how to be bartenders for the family, mixing margaritas, talking about Armageddon, and don't dare have a dream or a goal because the world is going to be gone by the time you graduate from high school, so you don't need any goals. Okay, so I got to bring Kim back on here. Kim, you said you're 55 years old. Your parents are in their 80s. You are now being faced with a life-threatening disease because of this lifestyle that you chose at the end of the day through the influence, obviously, of your family, of mixing margaritas and talking about the Bible. That's it. Now, listen, anything in excess is not healthy. They're drinking alcohol in excess is not healthy. Eating food in excess is not healthy. Too much television is not healthy. Anything in excess is not healthy for us emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially. But you're 55 now, and you're talking about an influence that was in your life 43, 44 years ago. So I have a question for you. How long are you going to continue to blame your childhood for your adult actions?
I know, and I can't.
No, hold on. You don't know because you just told me that you're still blaming your parents, and it's because of them that you're dying of a disease, which I'm so sorry that you have this disease. But on the flip side of the coin, the disease is your choice because as much as it is your choice because you know the statistics, right?
It's true. And that's why I feel so bad about myself because I think to myself, I did this to me. Yep. I am the one who drank, and I had times where I actually left. I left the area.
Yeah.
For 7 years. I moved away.
Yeah.
Guess what? I didn't drink. I wasn't around my family.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So then the question is was it wise to move back? You see, we make choices every day that affect or infect our lives. And so I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, the doctor told you have 5 years to live. But Kim, there's a way to heal your body. And it's about making the choice to do it. And it's about putting yourself around influences that are willing to help you and you being willing to take full responsibility. You said you've entered treatment programs. You know about personal responsibility. You know that there's power and freedom when you take that personal responsibility. You fully forgive, you fully release your parents, their influence, and their kind of quirky, quacky, strange, interesting biblical beliefs and ways of living and all of this, that once you take responsibility, you now have taken control. And once you have fully forgiven and released them fully, you have, Kim, you're young, man. You're only a few years older than I am. You are so young. You still have a beautiful, give me a break. I just had my dad with me for a month. He's 72. My dad still dances at dance clubs to hip hop music, okay? He's the best dancer on the dance floor. Trust me, we took my dad dancing in San Antonio. I mean, he's the best dancer in the place. My dad acts younger than me, and it inspired me. And I remember looking at my dad in the eyes, and he's single, and he's gorgeous, and he's a romantic. And I said to him, Dad, I said, you still have a lot of years left. Dream about getting married again, maybe. Dream about where you want to travel to around the world. You've been chained to a business for 30 years. You can rise up and design a whole new life, and it's going to be the best part of your life. You can live anywhere in the world that you want. You can be married to whoever it is that you want to be married to. You can have the lifestyle that you desire. You're only 72. Kim, you are only 55. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
You have so much potential. You have so much going for you. I know you have a past filled with all kinds of mistakes. I know you have a past filled with people who have hurt you, harmed you, influenced you inappropriately. I know that there's all kinds of failures back there, but back there doesn't mean anything. What matters is what you do from here. I don't care if you're 40, 20, 10, 50, 90. What matters is what you do with the time that you have left right here. And no one knows how much time you have left. Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We are talking about the mistake of mediocrity. Because nobody wakes up and says, I just can't wait to be mediocre when I grow up. Nobody wants to be mediocre. That's not the life that was intended for you. That's not the design of your life. That's not the design of you. You are called to something greater. You were planted on this earth for a purpose. You have a destiny. You got to live it out. And you got to unplug yourself from the things that are influencing you to go after mediocrity, to go after debt, to go after poisonous relationships, to go after strangling finances. You need to get away from the influences that are leading you down a path of failure and get on a path of success, which is why we're here every single day to encourage you, to bring you skills, content, teaching, wisdom from various different people on how you can live out your life today, not tomorrow, but today, because everything starts right now. We don't even know if we have tomorrow. So we're talking about this life of mediocrity and the influences that are in our life that have influenced there, and how do we change it? How do we fix this disgusting pile of, forget about it. We got Lori Love from California. Lori, did you ever say, when I grow up, I want to be mediocre?
Never.
Never. So talk to me about the influences in your life or the environment of your life, and what's the result?
Well, I was in a bad environment, and one day you're so tired, everything gets to you, you can't sleep, and it gets to your heart and your soul.
Yeah.
And I was given an opportunity to get out of that terrible, unhealthy environment, and I'm actually starting to feel better again, to see life through a different set of eyes.
Yes.
It's a great feeling.
How? What happened?
Just where I was or where I'm at now.
Where, like now? Like, how did you get to the place you are now?
I was talking to a friend from school, gave me an opportunity to come to a new area, sight unseen. I know 2 people. I don't have a vehicle. I do not know the environment. And said, hey, let's get you out of there.
Wow.
And put some saneness into your life. You're a stress cadet. I drink a bottle of Pepto every 2 days.
Oh, my gosh, Mommy.
They're, teaching me how to live again.
Wow.
Because I've been living in fear for so many months, and it's the worst feeling ever.
So what was it that was giving you fear back where you were living before?
Just being called nasty names,
Yes.
not being able to bathe, not being able to have company.
Wait a second. Was this your
Bad
marriage?
luck after bad luck.
Was this your marriage?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Somebody said, Lori, why don't you come stay with me? Get you a job. I'm here to support you. And it was the total opposite.
Wow. And so these two friends, praise God for two friends, right?
Oh, absolutely. A blessing in disguise. And I can never be more thankful or grateful. And just the positivity and the motivation. And like I said, reading what you say, your motivational words. I've been here 2 weeks on Sunday, and I've already had 3 job interviews.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, the first week, I haven't even unpacked boxes. I still have stuff, but
Wow.
I'm going to get me a job. I'm going to find a car because, when things happen, everything bad all happens.
Totally. It's almost like it's a
transportation.
Yes.
Get a job.
Yes. Yes. There seems to be, I wish I could come up with a really good analogy to this, but it seems like there is almost like there's these tornadoes, if you will. And like one is just filled with caca. You know what I mean? It's just like trash and nasty. And like everywhere you look and everywhere you turn, everything is smelly. It's disgusting. It's bad, right? And even the people that are around you at that time in your life. And then there's just something when you step out of that tornado of caca that you like step into this place. It's like a funnel of favor. It's a funnel of blessing. And if you find yourself in that place, and just like what Lori was just talking about, that she was in that place where it's just disgusting and fearful and crippling and suffocating and strangling. I mean, just and it smells. It's putrid. And when you just go, enough, because look at this. I learned this a long time ago. When I was 19, I got introduced to the business community, and I became a businesswoman. That's 27 years ago. I just can't even believe I can even say 27 years ago. But anyway, one of the first concepts that I learned was that environment is everything. And boy, was that so true. Because my first 6 months in business, I failed miserably. And largely, again, I was ignorant. I was young. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing, really, is the reason why I failed. But I was surrounded by 2 other guys that were about 10 years older than I was. And these guys were just not serious. They were kind of playing around, and they were dreaming, but they weren't doing. You know what I mean? They were talking about what they were going to do when they made money and when they succeeded, but they weren't actually doing the work or doing the job to actually get the thing done. And so when I then met these other 2 young men, man, they were professionally dressed. They not only looked the part, they walked the part, they did the activities it took to become successful, to build their brand. And boy, oh boy, did they become incredibly successful. And so the environment is everything. You are who you hang out with. I know you know that. I know your grandmother told you that, right? That birds of a feather flock together. That is the truth. So who are you flocking with? Who are you surrounded by? Now, I know that sometimes our family can be some of the most negative chickens on the planet, right? They can. They can be just the most negative chickens. And we don't always get to pick soaring with the eagles, right? We just don't. We don't get to pick that. But, meaning we don't get to pick our family. We do get to pick who influences us, though. We do get to pick who we listen to. We can pick who we submit to, who we're learning from. We can submit to that. And you always want to be very, very careful to analyze what is coming out of people's mouths. What are they saying that's helpful and beneficial to them? What do they say? Are they degrading themselves? Are they putting themselves down? Are they putting other people down? Are they gossips? Are they belittlers? Are they sarcastic? Or are they kind and gentle? Are they edifying? Are they encouraging? Are they loving? Are they sincere? Are they genuine? Do they have purpose in their life? Are they doing something with their life? These are really important questions to ask yourself, because you get to design your life, friend, if you choose to. And you can design and decide who lets their mouth into your ears. Meaning people can talk, but you don't have to receive what they say if it's negative, gossipy, if it's not uplifting, if it is degrading, belittling, if it's sarcastic, if it's ho-hum, if it's laziness that's coming out of their mouth, which comes out of a lot of people's mouths and they don't even know they're doing it. Or if it's excuses coming out of their mouth, a lot of people do that. They don't even realize they're doing it. A lot of people put themselves down and they don't even realize that they're doing it. That stuff rubs off on you. It does. It rubs off on you. And how other people feel about themselves also plays a factor in how you feel about yourself. Yes. Someone with a poor self-image, and that's your very best friend, chances are you might have a poor self-image. Someone that has a poor image about the world. Now, I'm not saying that, calling a spade is not good. No, calling a spade is good. But dwelling on it is a whole nother story. Creating fear around it is a whole nother story. This is not healthy and this is not good. So you want to kind of temper the amount of negative things that you choose your ears to hear. Like for some people, they can't listen to the news because it literally puts their head in absolute hopelessness. Some people should not ever watch scary movies because it really does influence your mind with fear. And now you're looking around the corner, checking underneath your bed. You're wondering what would happen if, and that's a lot of your conversations. What would happen if? It's not a way to live. But this is how we become mediocre because we're not controlling what we're listening or watching. You have control over you. You have control over the choices that you make. And it's up to you to make new decisions to create an environment that is going to be helpful for you. Listen, I got something that could be helpful for you right now. Have you spent any time on our website? Have you been tuning into the show each and every day? Every single day, we're here, whether it's on your smartphone app, on our webpage, if you're watching it from your iPad, from your computer, or you're in an area where you can actually get the show live on television or live on the radio. This is a positive influence in your life. You know it is. Surround yourself with other people that are positive. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. There's so many different communities that are out there that you can put yourself into, get yourself out of your comfort zone, and be a part of something, right? It's really important. It's how I dug myself out of being a homeless woman. You can dig yourself out of anything. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Coming up next on The Dani Johnson Show, who is shaping your mind? Do you even know? You might be shocked by the answer.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities. And they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
Be sure to tell a friend about The Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need.
Today, we have so much information that's flying at us. Have you noticed that? Oh, my goodness. I mean, if you look at YouTube, for example, in fact, you might be watching this program right now on YouTube. You look at the television. You look at, Apple TV, where you have access to so many different things. If you got satellite TV, you got DVR, you got. We have so much information that's flying at us. Recently, I had somebody that was staying with me, and it's a young person. I was really blown away at the amount of television that she was consuming. And mind you, we don't have television. But she found a way through the internet to be able to find through her Netflix account through her family, we don't have one, to be able to watch show after show after show. And I was blown away. And I came in, and I love this young person. And I sat down and I said, do you have any idea how much television you consume every day? She goes, oh, not that much. And I said, well, do you have any idea how many hours that you are putting your mind and your soul and your emotions, your ears, your everything in front of? Like, you have any idea? She's like, oh, like maybe 4 hours a day. And I said, well, you've been sitting here for 12 hours just today alone, watching this series. And what is the series about? And the series really was about mediocrity. I mean, at the end of the day, and nothing that was coming from these lines from this television show was going to help this young person become successful. Nothing in it that was going to help this young person do great in life. Everything that she was watching was certainly training her up to be a spender, certainly training her up to be in debt, to try to fit in with the popular class, and to just end up broke like 98% of the population does. Sad. Like a young person. I watched this happen day after day after day, and then finally I said, we're done. We're done with this. Yeah, we're done, because we don't do this in our house. This is just not who we are, and I want you to go outside and go for a walk. I want you to go discover something new. Let's go do something outside of this living room. Mind you, gorgeous sunny outside. Blinds are drawn, house is dark, which, by the way, that's a sign of depression. Clearly, a sign of depression. So, what influences you, and what are you doing about it? We have Nicole Jacobson from Virginia on the line. Nicole?
Yes. Hi, Dani.
Hi. So what about you? What do you use to influence you, or what do you find that influences you negatively or positively?
Well, there's a lot of things that influence me positively and negatively, but I guess what's on my mind now is lately I've really found I've been influenced by music, and in a positive way. My daughter is very much into musical theater.
Nice.
And so we listen to more of that genre of music. But I'm the kind of person that music speaks to me. So a song like I've been to First Steps to Success, and as a Ruby, the Eye of the Tiger song really speaks to me. It gets me in my soul, and that influences me in a positive way. So in the realm of my daughter, I really feel like musical theater has really brought my family together in a way that I never would have expected before. I think music and sharing music together and listening to that music and then watching other people perform it with passion and meaning really is fulfilling. So I feel like even though there's so many bad influences in music and TV and movies and all that, I've found a lot of ways that it is positive and really bringing our family together.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. In fact, when there was a season in my life where I so battled suicidal thoughts. And this is after I became a millionaire, believe it or not. And this is after I had my full-blown speaking career and had several companies at the time. And just the pressure was enough to just bury me. And I found that positively influenced music really made a difference. In fact, I had to listen to stuff 24/7 because if I let my mind not have something going into it, what it was kicking out to me was suicide. It was kicking out to, it was just, reminding me of all the things that my dad spoke to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, no one loves you, no one's ever going to love you, all of that. So all of those, you're a failure, come on, you were homeless, you're such an idiot, nobody likes you. Like, you've never been liked by anyone. You were not the popular girl in school. You have no friends, and those who call themselves friends, they're only friends because you make money. They really can't stand you. All of this stuff would just attack my head. And music really calmed my soul. And obviously it was spiritual music, that just really spoke to me on the inside. So I agree with you. And our family is incredibly musical. My husband and I are not, but all 5 of our kids are like amazing musicians. But I think
I'm not either, Dani.
Oh, really? That's so awesome. Yeah, we are not. I cannot play a thing. But music does. I think it speaks, even just instrumental music does something to the soul. It really does. You don't even have to have lyrics, but it just, I don't know if it calms the soul or speaks to it or either invokes creativity or whatever. Just like you were saying, you know, Eye of the Tiger, just the first part of that song where there's no words. You know what I mean? Gets people's blood boiling. You know what I mean? And you can feel the intensity and you can feel the want to win when you hear just music that is like that. So I agree, and I think that that music is about, can be
Yes.
a positive influence, and that we need to be very aware if we are listening to music with lyrics. What are we saying? What is being said to us? And that's why I've always controlled what goes in my ears. And there's just some music I will just not listen to, period, end of story. That's awesome, Nicole. Proud of you. You're a good mom. And I love what you said, and I think that's a great idea for somebody, for sure. We've got Heather Leiloni from Phoenix, Arizona. What about you, Heather?
Well, one thing I found that I was influenced by when I was teaching was, so, like, I've always been the type of person, like, I like to try really hard and do a good job. And I noticed people around me who were, like, cutting corners and getting paid the same. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, a really good teacher makes the same as a really bad teacher.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to, like, want to do all the extra stuff and want to do all the extra work because I saw some person next door to me just goofing off.
Yes.
So it was a little hard for me to stay motivated in that area. But then, you know, I went to First Steps and got my butt kicked and kind of learned about, you know, integrity and doing a good job no matter who was watching you.
Yes.
So that was really convicting for me. And so then my attitude totally changed and just, doing a good job, whether, you know, your boss is
That's
or
right.
not. So,
That's right. Heather, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. But you know what you just said? You just said something so incredibly profound. We are so subconsciously influenced by the lazy, mediocre people that are around us. We really, really are. Gosh, it is so true. We are so influenced by that when we know that we're all at the same pay grade and somebody is like giving it their best shot and somebody else is not, it's like, why am I working so hard when this guy's making the same thing and he's lazy? Oh, that kind of stuff drives me crazy. I'm proud of you, Laura. Heather. This is Dani. We'll continue with more after this.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Come on, have you stepped down your game because other people around you don't have a game? Come on now. Man, what Heather from Phoenix, Arizona just said was profound and so powerful. Why? Number one, look at how transparent she is. She's a school teacher, right? And she's like, why am I going to work so hard when that lazy person isn't working as hard? They're not putting forth excellence and they're getting paid the same thing. Why should I? Listen, she said she went to First Step Success and she said she got her butt kicked. That's what we do there. Yep, that's it. Don't you want to come to that? Probably not. If you want to stay mediocre, stay home. But if you want to grow in your career, you want to get promoted, you want to be the influencer instead of being influenced by the wrong people, you're going to join me at the next First Steps to Success. Before you and I get there, because it's coming up here very shortly, you need to read this. First Steps to Wealth. There's 2 chapters in here where I talk about being what we call an employee-preneur. Specific steps that's going to get you noticed out there in the marketplace, that's going to get you promoted. Specific steps. You could be doing things right now that's getting you noticed in the wrong way, okay? Seriously, you could be doing things right now, unintentionally, subconsciously, that is creating a reputation for you that you do not want to have. It's a reputation that might get you fired. It's a reputation that might get you out of the place that you're starting to complain about right now and wishing that you had a job. Listen, we live in an economy right now where people are suffering all over the place. This is going to help you. You have competition in the workplace, friend. You really do. You have competition in your marriage too. You really do. First Steps to Wealth is going to show you how to succeed in your career, and if you don't have one, how to find one, in your money, and in your relationships. In every way, you need to succeed mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and whatever E is left after that. First Steps to Wealth. Get your copy right now. It's 866-760-8255. That's the phone number where you can get your free copy. You pay the shipping to get it to your house. We will pay for the $15 book. Send it to you. 866-760-8255. Again, 866-760-8255. Get your copy now. No excuse. You've got to walk away from mediocrity. You got to start building community around you of not mediocre people, but people who are doing something with their life. People that understand there's a call on their life. People that understand there's a destiny for their life and there's a purpose for their life. They might not know what it is, but they know it's something and they're heading at least towards it, instead of being like everyone else. Forget it. I'm not going to work. I'm too afraid. Anyway, get over to that website, also DaniJohnson.com. Please leave us a comment about how you enjoyed today's show. Freely you receive today's program. Come over to DaniJohnson.com. Click on the Watch tab at the very top of the page. It's going to bring you to today's post for today's program. Leave us a comment right there at the bottom of the page. Engage with this community of DaniJohnson.com. It's a whole community of us that are going towards a goal, living our life by design instead of by default, defining success for us and not letting anyone else do that. I hope you enjoyed us today. We certainly enjoyed meeting with you. God bless you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
This has been the Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson YouTube channel. We're super excited to have you here. And every single week, we're going to make sure that you get awesome videos for your business, career, making more money, saving money, annihilating your debt, as well as helping you to handle those really tough problems that you have with people at home as well as at work, and taking those really good relationships you already have and causing them to flourish and grow. All you have to do is click that subscribe button right down here. Click that and you'll be subscribed to an amazing community of people, as well as some great videos that will help to improve your life. Thanks so much for being here. Subscribe now would be good. Just click it. I know you can see it. It's somewhere down here. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.